My name is Alex Suttles, and I'm going to tell you about three accomplishments that I consider to be a major part of my life. So, the first one would be passing an arms inspection. For those that don't know, arms inspection is basically an annual inspection for aviation in the Army, where they come through and ensure that all your procedures are up to date, uh, danger signs are posted, making sure you're using electro ESD wrist straps, things of that nature, just to ensure everyone's safety and that the products are being properly handled. Well, when I first arrived at my first duty station, which was Fort Lewis, Washington, nothing was in order. None of the things were posted, none of the procedures were updated. We didn't have the correct wrist straps or anything along that nature. So naturally, I walked into a failing arms inspection. Now, I was a new private, fresh out of AIT. I really didn't know anything about the military or even the arms inspection period. So I was kind of thrown a book of this is what's wrong and fix it. And that's basically what I was told. And so I just kind of had to go from there and run with it and fix everything and get it done. Well, I did. I successfully got 100% on it. And it was a major accomplishment for me. I got recognized by the colonel, lieutenant colonel, my company commander, my first sergeant. I got recognition for it, and it was kind of a confidence booster coming into the military that kind of made me stay on top of things from that point on. So I never had to catch up on things because I knew what had to be done, so I always stayed a step ahead of it. And I think that was a major thing for me because the next 3 years, I believe, I also did the arms inspection, and we passed all those with flying colors. So that was major for me. I feel like it really set up who I was as a person in the military. Um, my second accomplishment would also have to do with the military, getting my stripes, becoming a sergeant. For some people, it's not as big of an accomplishment depending on the job you have because for some people, it's easier to get promoted. The military basically runs off of a point system where you go to a board. If the board deems you ready to become a sergeant, you get your promotable status, and then you have to build up points, and the points will drop according to the needs of the military. So if you need 10 people, then they're going to drop the points down to whatever maximum they can so that they can pick those 10 people up. Well, my points were always maxed out, 798 across the board. Military people understand the significance about it. But so they were basically as high as they could get. So it was pretty much impossible to get promoted unless you had been in for years and years and went to every class ever and had perfect PT, perfect weapons, and all that. But I didn't let that discourage me. I kept grinding. It took me a year and a half, actually, or excuse me, it took me 2 years to actually get my stripes. I had my promotable status for 2 years. I grinded my way all the way to the top of the promotion point list. I was there for about 2 weeks, and then the military switched how they did promotion points. And boom, just like that, I was number 5 on the list again. So I had all these people ahead of me, and as soon as I get kicked to the bottom, to the 5th on the list, they picked up a bunch of people, and it just missed me. So I missed getting promoted then, which it was very discouraging. I'm not gonna lie, it was, but I kept grinding, I kept going, I kept building up my points, and ironically enough, 2 weeks before I got out of the military, I got promoted. I was actually doing my ACAP, which is your transitioning out of the military, and I got a text message saying congratulations, and I have no idea why because I hadn't checked the list. But I made my points, and I grinded it out to the very end. So I was actually really proud of that. Even though I was ready to transition out of the military, I was still really proud of it because I feel like it was something that took a lot of work on my part, and it paid off in the end. And I'd say my third accomplishment would be getting the job with SpaceX. It was honestly something I kind of saw as being out of my reach. I didn't have a degree. I didn't have experience in the aerospace industry or anything like that. I just had seen them on Facebook, saw them on YouTube launching rockets, and I was driving through downtown Hawthorne one day, and I saw their building, and I just was like, wow, this is amazing. And I saw the rocket outside, and I'm like, I'll go apply for it just to see if I could get anywhere with it. Turns out I did, and uh, we had one unsuccessful job interview. That was the first one. That was my first job interview ever outside the military, so that was nerve-wracking. And I was probably doing pretty bad because I really didn't know how to conduct interviews. The second interview I had with them went amazing, got offered the job, but because of some mix-up, I wasn't able to start the job. And the third interview finally came through to fruition, and I got the job, and I was able to start, and I actually worked there for a while, but it turned out it wasn't for me. The schedule... the schedule I was working just didn't coincide with what I was trying to get done. I wasn't able to go to school anymore and things like that. But It also set me up for future things, so I really appreciate that job, and I learned a lot in the short time that I was there. But I do consider that to be a big accomplishment because a lot of people are actually trying to get with SpaceX and they can't. But I was able to, and it was one of my major goals, and so I was just happy I achieved that. Well, those are my three big accomplishments. Thank you.